The rain poured relentlessly as the car skidded to a halt in front of Blackwood Manor. The towering structure loomed against the stormy sky, its windows shattered and its walls covered in ivy. Emma tightened her grip on the flashlight, her breath visible in the cold night air. "Are you sure this is a good idea?" Jake asked, his voice trembling as he glanced at the imposing entrance. "It's just an old house," Emma replied, though her heart raced. "We'll be in and out. No big deal." The group of 4 friends, Emma, Jake, Sarah, and Mark, had heard the legends. Blackwood Manor was said to be cursed, a place where the shadows whispered and the walls bled. But they were skeptics, convinced it was all just folklore. As they stepped inside, the air grew colder. The floorboards creaked beneath their feet, and the scent of mildew filled their nostrils. Emma's flashlight flickered, casting eerie shadows on the peeling wallpaper. "Did you hear that?" Sarah whispered, her eyes darting around the room. "Hear what?" Mark asked, though he too had felt it. A faint, almost imperceptible whisper, like a voice carried on the wind. The group pressed on, exploring the decaying rooms. Each step deeper into the manor seemed to amplify the whispers, growing louder and more distinct. They tried to ignore it, chalking it up to their imagination, but the voices were undeniable. "Leave. Now." The shadows seemed to hiss. Emma's flashlight flickered again, and this time it went out entirely. In the darkness, the whispers became screams. The friends scrambled to relight their flashlights, but when the light returned, they were no longer alone. Figures emerged from the shadows, pale, gaunt, and hollow-eyed. They reached out with bony fingers, their mouths moving in silent screams. The friends turned to run, but the doors slammed shut, trapping them inside. "We shouldn't have come here," Jake cried, his voice breaking. The shadows closed in, the whispers now deafening. One by one, the friends were pulled into the darkness, their screams echoing through the manor. When the sun rose the next morning, Blackwood Manor stood silent once more. The car remained parked outside, abandoned. And if you listen closely on a quiet night, you can still hear the whispers, calling out to the next curious soul, brave or foolish enough to enter.